If I would have to rephrase the question, I would ask, how does meditation help this very moment?
Office supplies donate.
This is donation. Well, I'm not going hiking today. I have way too many things to do that have been on my list for a very long time. Do you have that kind of list? So today's video will be a little bit different, but what I want to talk about is a question I have been asked many times. And that question is, how has meditation changed my life? Now, I have two responses to this question. My first response will be for those who are new to meditation or maybe interested in meditation. And later, my response will be for those who have been practicing meditation for a while. If that sounds interesting to you, continue watching this video. Now, before we get into all of that, I have a very important pickup to do. If you want to see what that is, come follow me. The first way meditation has changed my life would have to be not to believe in my thinking. I saw a bumper sticker when I first moved to Berkeley, and the bumper sticker said, "Don't believe what you think." Now, the first experience I had with this is what led me to meditation practice. I talked about this in my book a little bit. I was living in Seattle. Everything was falling apart. I was getting depressed, confused, very angry. So a friend of mine recommended that I see a therapist. I saw this therapist a few times, and there was the very last session that I had with this therapist. I wanted to say goodbye and thank her for all of the help that she's given me. And one thing I was telling this therapist during our conversations was I had this strong belief that I was a musician. I was music, music was me. I mentioned that quite a lot in our conversations, actually. So in her very last session, she said, "I want to ask you something before you go. You have talked about many times that you are music and music is you." I said, "Yeah, that's right." Then she said, "What percent of music is you?" And I just threw out a number, 90%. She said, "Really? 90%? Yeah, 90%. She then asked me, "If you're not playing music, what are you?" And this really blew my mind. I never heard a question like that before. And I was stuck. If I'm not playing music, then what am I? I've had this strong idea that I was this thing ever since I was 13 years old. And here I am, my early 20s, and I'm stuck. And I told her, I don't know. And she said, perhaps you should investigate that. She said, what is this thing that goes to the grocery store and eats food, goes to work? What is that thing? So this really blew up my idea about my life. And this is what led me to Zen practice. And when I started practicing Zen, I started questioning everything I believed. Everything I believed about myself, my family, my friends, everything I believed about this world, my opinions about other people, my strong ideas and beliefs about all of these different things. And what I realized is it's just thinking. Our thoughts have no self-permanent nature. And I think we get into trouble in our lives because we think things are permanent. We think our ideas and our beliefs are permanent, but they're always changing. This body, some people think I'm going to live for a very long time, or maybe forever. We obviously know that that's not the case. But our jobs, our careers, they're impermanent. Our relationships are impermanent. In fact, this whole world is impermanent. Supposedly in a few billion years, the sun is going to go into supernova and this earth will disappear. So this was a big wake-up call for me, and something that's been very helpful, that my thoughts, my ideas, my opinions, my beliefs have no self-permanent nature. They are not me. And this really, I think, frees us up from a cage that we live in, that we built, that we defend. So I would say that's the first thing that meditation has really helped me see. So I'm very close to this destination for this very important pickup. So I will check back with you in just a bit. Now, this bag may not seem important, but to my daughter, it's very important. This is Rabbit, everyone. My daughter Ella had a sleepover with Grandma last weekend and forgot to bring her bag back home. So Ella hasn't been sleeping very well. But now she will be sleeping very well. Okay, off to the next adventure. The second way meditation has helped my life, I'd have to say it helped me experience compassion for others. I think it's really challenging to have true compassion for other people. I know in my case, when I was going through this hard time in Seattle, again, there was a lot of anger, confusion, and fear, and sadness, that I was just caught up in my own world. And I really didn't want to see all of these things inside of my life. I didn't want to be honest about it. So a lot of the times I was doing anything I could do to try to escape these things. And especially as I started to meditate, I started to see that, anger is very clear. Also, I have really strong judgments about people and strong opinions about people and this world. A lot of likes and dislikes. And when we teach meditation instruction, we say that don't push away any of these things when they arise in your mind, and also don't hold them. Just see them for what they are. And like I said earlier, we just see that they're just thoughts. It's just thinking. So when I started to do this, I started to have compassion for this anger, these judgments. Started to have compassion for these strong desires. You know, it's easy to see these qualities in other people. People who are judging others, maybe they're chasing after something, or they have lots of anger. Very easy to see this in others, and very difficult to see it in ourselves. So I noticed the more and more I would just be intimate with all of these things that would appear in my mind, I started to develop compassion for myself. And I also saw that these things are not me. That there's something before my idea of myself. There's something before all of these opinions and likes and dislikes and anger. Sometimes we call this our true self. We see our true selves very clearly. When the Buddha realized enlightenment, he saw that all human beings have two things in common. First, we all have ignorance, greed, anger. Now, some people express it in a more harmful way than others. But the Buddha also realized that all human beings have this enlightened nature. So I think that's very important to point out. Because the more we make an effort to show up and see all of these things clearly, have the courage not to push away, not to hold on to it, then we develop compassion for ourselves and also compassion for other people. The third way meditation has helped my life. It helped me see that all of the experiences that I had were not good and not bad. They were just the truth. Everything that happened led me to this very moment. There's a Taoist story about a farmer who had a very expensive and prized horse. The neighbors were always telling him how lucky he was, how fortunate he was to have such a wonderful horse. And every time the neighbors would tell him something like that, he would just say to them, "We'll see." There was one day where this horse ran away. And the neighbors went to the farmer and said, "This is terrible. Such bad luck." And the farmer replied, "We'll see." A few days later, the horse came back. And not only did it come back, it came back with the wild horse. Now he has two horses. So of course, the neighbors went to the farmer and said, "This is so wonderful. You have such good luck." The farmer replied, "We'll see." Some days later, the farmer's son tried to tame this wild horse. And while the son was riding this horse bucked him off. The son fell down and broke his leg. And the neighbors went to the farmer. "This is horrible news. Such bad luck." And the farmer replied, "We'll see." Sometime later, the military was going around to different villages trying to draft young men for the war. They came to the farmer's house, looked at the son, looked at his broken leg and said, "We cannot use him. He will not be helpful for this war. So we will leave him here." And of course, the neighbors went to the farmer. "This is wonderful news. You have such good luck. Now your son won't go to the war and possibly be killed." And the farmer replied, "We'll see." So this is a very interesting story, very important story. I tell this story quite a lot, especially for people who don't practice meditation or Zen or anything like that, because we all can relate to the situation. Meaning there's a lot of things in our lives that are unpleasant. And usually we're judging them. This is good, this is bad, I have good luck, I have bad luck. But what happens is we don't see where these events lead. So when this farmer said, "We'll see," he wasn't saying, "Oh, I don't care." He just saw the truth of these experiences. And I'm sure he felt really bad when his son broke his leg. But his response, meaning, "We'll see," actually means that this is the truth. So how can we respond to the truth? If we're living in this opposites world of this is good, this is bad, I like this, I don't like this, the problem with that is we don't see the truth of the moment, And usually we're not able to respond to what's happening in a way that's clear and helpful. So meditation practice has really helped me to see the truth of what's happening and not label it, not judge it. Just see it for what it is and respond in some way that can help. Ready to go, Rabbit? Let's go get the kids. Bella.
Are you recording?
Yes. Oh, Rabbit, you happy to be back home?
I threw 2 goals and assisted 2.
Oh, sweet. Wait, I thought there was no soccer today because of...
Yeah, but we had some free choice.
Oh, awesome. Good for you.
Kind of.
Hi, Chick Chick. So those are the 3 ways meditation has changed my life. But if I'm being honest, some of you know I'm a very curious person. I would have to ask, what is my life? I think some of us have painted a picture of the past, maybe to justify our actions. Maybe we want our past to look a certain way to other people. But how accurate is our idea of the past? When I think about my life, it's just an idea in my head. Earlier, I mentioned about music was my life. So what is my life? Is it music? Is it sitting meditation? Is it being a father, a husband? What I came to realize over time is that my life is this moment. This moment is always changing, never the same. Every moment, I'm a different person. So if I would have to rephrase the question, I would ask, how does meditation help this very moment? Because this moment is my life. Those are my thoughts for the day. Let me know if this video was helpful. I would also like to know, how has meditation helped your life? Go ahead and put it down in the comments below. I hope you are all doing well, having a clear day, and I will see you very soon.